Ooh. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. God bless you. It is Tuesday. I am back. Amen. I am back. God bless you. Welcome to Set Apart. The Lord had me on sabbatical for about 2 or 3 weeks, and He's just been dealing with me and downloading a lot of things to me, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to come back and to continue not only be a blessing to his people, but to be a blessing to him because it is because of the Lord we are not consumed. He has been so great and has been so kind to us as his people. And I am forever grateful. I thank you for your time tonight, that you took the time tonight to come and sit with us tonight. I got a very special guest. This young man right here is, oh we he's he's special, more special than you all realize. This is, I know you all have heard me talk about my oldest sister. My oldest sister. Hey Ma, hi Shamar. My oldest sister Pearl. And this is my oldest sister's youngest grandson. This is my niece's son, and his name is Jameson. And I am just grateful to God that he's just doing what he's doing with the children. He's just doing what he's doing, and just I'm just amazed to see how God is doing what he's doing. I mean, it might sound like I'm rambling, but these are the kind of things that I really don't have the words to say because I never thought at any given time that this young man would be on Set Apart. So this is the Lord's doing, and it's so marvelous in our eyes. I pray that you all will like, tag, and share. Hey, Raven, Kenyatta, Tisha. I thought I saw Joy. God bless you. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to tune in this evening. Um, so without further ado, as you can see, he's rather comfortable, and I'm grateful for that. Um, Jameson, how old are you, darling?
I'm 14.
You're 14. So one of the things that has been happening in this time, especially with young people, is basically trying to keep young people occupied, trying to keep young people their focus on the right thing. So as you as a 14-year old and you being a believer in Jesus Christ, because you are, right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So what has it been like for you as a teenager trying to keep your focus on Christ and him crucified and doing the right thing?
It's I'm not good. It's been a challenge, honestly, because I have friends that I went to middle school with, and this was like way before like I knew who Jesus was, and then I was wild in middle school. I was doing a bad thing. I was getting in trouble and doing all that stuff, and then when the pandemic came, I don't know what happened. I guess my heart just like set on the Lord because I found him. If it wasn't for this pandemic, I wouldn't have found him, first of all. And I think that was a blessing because I guess it was more of an eye opener because I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't want to stray down the wrong path and eventually something leading up to me, like something bad happened to me, like get me getting locked up or something like that, or getting in serious trouble. So it's been hard, especially with my friends, because like I spread the gospel a lot, honestly. I post the words of the day on the Bible app on my Instagram. Um, I send them like gospel TikToks to people like spreading the word. There was one time during the pandemic, I sent a gospel post, or I was posting like a lot of gospel stuff on my story, and my friend reached out to me. I'm not gonna say his name, but he
Right.
reached out to me, and he was like, bro, you gotta chill. And I was like, chill about what? And he was like, bro, you're taking this stuff way too seriously, bro. You gotta relax. Like, I know it's God and everything. And I was like, what do I need to relax for? And he was like, bro, it's getting too serious. And I was like, what's serious? And he was like, bro, if you don't stop with this gospel stuff, I'm gonna stop being your friend. Stuff like that. And that didn't faze me one bit, honestly, because I was like, if you're not here to like support me or whatever, I mean, I really don't care because you're not gonna stop me from doing what I'm gonna do. And so I told him straight up, bro, you can unfriend me, you can block me. That's still not gonna stop me from what I'm doing. So therefore, I don't know if he blocked me or not, but I proceeded to keep doing my things, posting the gospel on my story, um, posting the words of the day, and so on and so forth. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you said something that that hit me. You said had it not been for the pandemic, you would have never known him. How do you know that?
because in well during middle school, what's the name? I mean, I knew about him. I'm not gonna say I didn't know nothing about him. I knew about
Right.
him and like how he died on the cross for our sins and stuff like that. But I really never took in the context of like I never knew what repentance was. I never knew that you had like to read your Bible every day, pray, have a genuine relationship with him, nothing like that. So I guess the pandemic gave me like time to realize that, and I guess it gave him time to like actually like speak to me and tell me what I need to do and how to have that general bond of relationship with him. Because if it wasn't for the pandemic and I was going to high school, like living a normal life, and I finished out middle school, I don't know where I'd be
Hmm.
at. If I'm being honest, I don't know
Wow.
where I'd be at.
Wow. So since you because you said you knew of him, you knew of him because of how we as a family have been raised. So it wasn't until you took the initiative to say, okay, even with the world being shut down, I could be doing a whole lot of other things, but I don't want to do those things because I know what the outcome can potentially be. So you making the decision, say, okay, I'm a, you know, find out who this Jesus really is, and you had made the point of, you know, dealing with your friends. You have been made the point of, somebody telling you it's too serious. You getting too serious. If you don't stop, I'm gonna stop being your friend. And you had already made the determination. It did not matter. Your friendship wasn't that important that it would affect my relationship with Christ. And that's kind of heavy, especially you being the age that you are. So is there anything that you had to do in addition to read, to pray? Is there anything that you had to do to keep yourself in that focus, in that posture where no matter if I never have any friends, I'm gonna build my relationship with God.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, there was. Um. I had to. I mean, I wasn't really worried about them, to be honest with you. I just kept
Okay.
reading my word, spreading the gospel, and just doing what I normally do. Just kept praying and praying and praying, and then eventually he apologized or something like that, and we moved on our merry way.
Wow.
So,
Okay. So so you said that you spread the word on your Instagram page.
and TikTok.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know you had an Instagram page. I need to see what you're doing on Instagram, but okay. So tell me what your ritual is every day. You read your Bible every day?
I try to.
Okay. Do you pray every day?
I try to.
Okay. And this is why I'm asking. See, this is the reason why I'm asking him these questions, because sometimes when children get in positions like this, they want to say, quote unquote, the right thing opposed to saying the truth, because this is the thing. We as adults, we as parents, we those of us who are, quote unquote, maybe a little bit more seasoned in this thing, have to understand that our children watch us and they see us. And it's not to create a front to them, but it's to create reality to them that they understand that they have to build their relationship with God, them personally. I have said on more than one occasion is that one of the things that I remember about my grandmother is my grandmother didn't graduate from school and she could barely read. But I remember my grandmother getting up every morning, sitting on the side of her bed, and she had that Bible open and she was reading what she could read. And I remember her getting down on her knees every morning, every morning, every morning, and praying on the side of her bed. And that was one of the things that sticks with me now, even as an adult, because God had He implanted that in me. And even with Jameson, and he sees his mother go through what she goes through and provide for him and his sister and his brother, he still is determined. He's still determined to build his relationship with God, regardless of what's going on around him. So that's one of the reasons why I posed that question to him, so we'll understand, you know, what kind of influence and knowing that our children watch us more than what we realize. So Jamie, what you want to talk about? Because you had made a point about some other things, but I want you to feel free to talk about some stuff as far as you being a firm believer in Christ and being a teenager.
Um, well, can I talk about like some of the dreams I've been having?
Yes, yes, you can. And what I'll do is, if when, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go because sometimes people don't understand how God will do what He does and how He's trying to get people's attention. So we're gonna start with one. So go ahead with the one you want to talk about.
So this is the one I told you right about me having the spiritual power of discernment, right? This is the one right
Yes.
here.
Okay.
So basically, I went to sleep one
Mhm.
one afternoon and I was in this dream and like I was in this dream and there was like this big like it was like this storm and there was people like walking back and forth and they were acting like the storm wasn't really even there.
Mhm.
And what's the name? I was kind of confused because I was like, can y'all not see this storm? Like what's happening? Or did I just not care? So I was confused, and then suddenly, like a really heavy weight, like pushed me down, like was holding me down on the ground. Like I could not move at all. Like I
Mhm.
couldn't move, nothing. Heard this like demonic voice saying, "You're coming with me," all that stuff, and I was like, "No, I'm not." To whatever it was, and then what's the name? That weight pushed off me, and then there goes my house just sitting in front of me. I go in the house and immediately something is off. Like I sense something evil. Like I sense something bad. My grandma, my sister sitting on the couch watching the news, and I was like, y'all need to get out the house now. There's something in here that doesn't belong in here. Like, and then what's the name? I guess it was trying to take control of my body because I felt it. I felt it enter my body, and we was just like, I was like kind of like fending it off because I wasn't finna like give him my body or nothing like that. Like I was just kind of like fending it up. But like as soon as I stepped outside, it just kind of took over. Like my body felt paralyzed. Like I couldn't move. Like my muscles were tight. Everything, and I was just like ascending to wherever I was going because I don't know where I was going. And then what's the name? I heard like something touched me. Something touched me, and then it was like a nice, gentle, soft voice, and it was like, "You're going to be fine. Everything is okay. You're going to be fine. Just relax." And then what's the name? My muscles weren't tight no more. I wasn't paralyzed. The thing that was in me like left me like automatic, like flee. Like it felt like this, like he was gone. Then I fell down. I fell down, and then I woke up again. And what's the name? I ran into the living room. I told my mom what had happened, and everything just happened so fast. Like I started to cry because I didn't understand like what was happening, and it was like intense, and I couldn't really make anything of it because I knew it was God, and I knew it was demons trying to like take me over or something like that, and it was just a hectic time because I didn't know what was happening. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So even with that being said, you said that you knew that it was God. And I guess my question to you is that how did you know?
Because what's the name? It's like his presence when in the dream, his presence in the dream was like so intense, like with like love and care and like peace and like comfort, like you're like if like when I felt his presence, I automatically knew like I was gonna be fine. Like I knew I was gonna be fine, and I knew he was gonna do what he does and rescue me and help me get through whatever I was going through with the demon. And then he did what he did, and I woke up.
So even with that, what you just said, you said his the presence was so intense with love, and the question would be, how you know how love feels? And see that goes into your relationship and spending time with God and reading His Word, because God responds to everybody differently. Jameson's relationship is not like mine, but the determining factor of him being who he is the love and the peace and the comfort that we feel, especially in bad situations, because he just said in the dream he saw a storm and nobody saw the storm but him, and he trying to figure out why ain't nobody seeing the storm but him. And that's the thing that you have to remember. In the book of Joel, it talks about how our young men will dream dreams and old men see visions. And I might have it inverted, but that's the stuff you have to pay attention to, because so many of our children are encountering warfare that they're not used to encountering. And then that now with this going on, and God shutting the world down, there are a whole lot of children Jameson's age, even younger, some older, who are walking into a place that they are unfamiliar with. But what's reassuring to them is that they are building a relationship with God, and His presence letting them know that He is who He is. So with you being in school, honey, with you being in school virtually, and I know you playing your extracurricular activities, your football and all that. um what kind of things do you have to say to yourself to remind yourself that God is real and He's with you?
Um, I tell myself like he's in the vicinity like right now. He's probably like sitting right next to me right now. And so I keep telling myself that like bro, like he is sitting right here and he's watching your every move because I know that you can't hide nothing from God. You can't hide nothing. So what's the point of trying to hide it? He gonna see it anyway. So with school and everything, I constantly keep telling myself, what would God want you to do? What would you want to do? Would you rather play the game or would you want to spend a little bit extra time reading the Bible? Would you rather watch your phone or would you rather get on your knees and pray? And stuff like that. So I make a conscious decision to like just like spend a little bit extra time with them sometimes because that's the best thing to do instead of playing the game because that's always gonna be there and God's always gonna be there. But it's like which one's more important to you? So
Right,
it's all
right.
about self control.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought up the self control piece, and I know we didn't discuss it a little bit. So how do you handle yourself when you have little girls coming at you and they're trying to be fresh and mannish? How do
Repeat
you
the question.
handle that? I said, how do you handle, since you're talking about self control, how do you handle little girls coming at you trying to being mannish and being flirtatious? How do you handle that?
I I don't really have females being flirtatious to me
As
or
of
what's the
okay,
name
okay, so you
as a
got
as,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine because I
Nah.
know I didn't talk to you about it prior to, but I mean they come and talk. They come a dime a dozen. So I just want you to even and see this is the thing that we have to talk about with our children because everybody they're not familiar with God. They're not familiar with God. And then those that think they are familiar, they have a warped sense of who He is. So that I wanted to put that out there. I'm sorry, Shawnee. I wasn't trying to, but yeah. But um, how about you engaging? How about you dealing with adults when it comes to
Mm.
talking to God, talking talking to them about God? Because you're saying you've
Um,
been you've been witnessing a lot, so I'm pretty sure it's just not the kids you're talking to.
um, actually, uh, when I go to the football field, I talk about God a lot sometimes. When I go to
Okay,
the football field, because everybody's like, Jameson, Jameson, what's the name? Why you gonna do this when you go to high school instead of that? Why you gonna do this instead of that? And I'm like, bro, because I have rules to follow by, and I don't feel like doing all that stuff y'all say y'all gonna do in high school. I've had people talking to me about like some wild stuff they said they was gonna do when they get to high school. I'm not gonna name any of them, but
right.
I had people telling me they was gonna do a whole bunch of this and that and this and that. And not gonna lie, when I was in middle school before I knew who Christ was, I was planning on doing those things when I got to high school. But then I caught myself when I learned about those things and how it's a sin and how you can't do that and all that stuff. And so uh, that was pretty much like I was pretty much telling them like, bro, you can't do that. Like, bro, you know what you're doing or something like that, and how that's bad for you, and you can't be doing that because that's a sin and stuff like that. And most of the time they brush it off. Some people take it seriously, or some people just laugh and talk about, bro, it can't be that serious or something like that. And I'm like, bro, it's that serious because you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Mhm.
And with that being said, like when I talk about how God loves them and how you can't do this, but like people still do it anyway and stuff like that. I don't know. It kind of like it doesn't offend them, but it kind of like makes them like a little like just like a like triggered or like offended or what you want to call
Agitated,
it. Yeah, like
agitated.
that. And sometimes they'll come at me and try to roast me or something like that, or just try and bring me down or get me to shut up, basically. But I don't be and I just keep talking, and then eventually they just listen and stop talking.
So do has anybody tried to bully you when you start talking about Christ bully you? And how you handle that? I'm glad I didn't know it, but how you handle that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have people, and on the football team, I have people bullying me all the time about God and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't really care. I don't,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, it doesn't really phase me because I don't care. That's what I really. That's really my
Okay.
mindset when it comes to people bullying me about God. Like, bro, you can say whatever you want because you're not gonna bring me down with you, or you're not gonna shut me up and drag me down with you because that's not gonna happen. So I just have that I don't care mindset whenever it comes to that. So
Okay. Okay. So okay. So what else you want to talk about?
um
Because you're making this real easy for me.
hmm,
Yeah.
what the
Hmm.
hmm it's kind of hard because I have so many things to talk about, but I can only talk about like a select few.
Okay. Well, just talk
Um
about something.
okay, so I was in middle school, right? And the middle school I went to, I'm not gonna say it was trash, but the
Hmm.
kids there, we ain't gonna say nothing. But the environment I was in, it was constant like people like cussing and fighting and people doing the wrong, and I ran into some kids doing some drugs in the bathroom, like all that, like it was bad, like really really bad. And this was before I knew who Christ was, right? And so I'm not gonna say I was a good kid all the time because there was I had my
Mm-hmm.
days where like I messed up in class and I would get my mom call or go down to the office and stuff like that. Because I'm not gonna say I was the perfect kid and I didn't get in trouble because that's
Right.
false.
Right.
So I was talking like a couple of my I'm gonna call them associates now because I don't really talk to them like that now. But
Right.
I was talking to a couple of people that I knew, right? And I was talking about the things I was gonna do when I got to high school, and they was looking like he was like, "Yeah, Jameson, you got to do that." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, bet." And then when I wasn't able to finish school because of COVID, I was doing work on the side. I had people texting me, talking, like sending, like asking me to send them answers and all that stuff. The norm.
Mm-hmm.
People being
Right.
lazy, right? So then when the school year ended and we graduated and I moved on to high school and the pandemic like got serious, like got really serious, like that,
Mm-hmm.
like the peak to like the climax and stuff like that. That's when I really turned to God. And I think the reason I turned to God was because of Mike Todd, if I'm being honest with you. Because
Okay.
I remember my mom showing me one of his services and like how he opened up a church like in a couple months or something like that, and he raised enough money and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mike Todd,
Not
Pastor
really.
Mike Todd, he's in Oklahoma, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma? Right.
Yes,
Pastor
ma'am.
Mike Todd, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and what's the name? He was talking about how he didn't have like the funds and like how he needed his like help and stuff like that. And then just a matter of like months, he opened up the church and like it was like really really fast. And
Mm-hmm.
that made me realize like God is good. Like God is real. God is amazing. Just for him to like open up like a church in like just a matter of months and how he basically the things he was doing, and that really set my heart on to God because I wanted to know what more he could do and what could he do for me, and
So it
you know,
increased your faith?
mm-hmm. And
Okay.
so what's the name? So fast forward a couple months later, when I'm back like a couple months later, like near my birthday, and like I'm firm. I'm not gonna say I was dipping my toe. I was kind of like putting my feet in the water of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, reading my Bible, praying every day, doing what I was supposed to, right? And so fast forward to my birthday, I get a whole bunch of happy birthday wishes and stuff like that. Then it came down to the gifts. I made it like a bandit my 14th birthday. Um, I got a lot of money. I had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of presents. I had a lot of people come. Like, I had my family come, and
Mm-hmm.
some other people come, and cause cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have never made that much money off birthdays, like off birthday money alone. If I'm being
Mm-hmm.
honest, like I
Mm-hmm.
haven't made like I'm not gonna say the amount of money I made, but I made
How
a
much
lot of
money
money.
you received?
Yes, how much money I received? My fault. How much money I received?
Okay.
I received a lot of money that day,
Okay.
and I couldn't really point to nobody but God because if it wasn't for God Himself, I probably wouldn't have received that much money because I never received that much money. So I knew right there alone that it was Him right there. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when I got back in my room and everybody left and stuff like that, I got on my knees and just like began to thank Him and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. And like I said, like out loud, like in the room, I was like, I got to thank God because what's the name? If it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't have made it like a bandit like I did. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that was like those were really like trivial moments where I was like, bro, like, I gotta do it. I gotta keep doing what I gotta do
Mm-hmm.
because if I keep going down this road, who knows what he could bless me with in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know that, but he does and stuff like that.
So even what you just said right there, when you realized how much money he had blessed you with on your birthday, and you seeing Pastor Mike Todd get blessed, and it increased your faith, and you got more than you ever realized that you could ever get. So um, are you? Let me ask you this, babe. Are you going down this road because you want to see what he's gonna give you, or are you going down this road because you love him enough to go down the road to see what he's gonna give you?
Oh no, 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 no. It's not even about the what he gives me or material things. Or I really want a relationship with God because I really want to know what type of person He is. Because I still got a long way to go. Because
Mm,
I'm still a beginner. Like this is like still kind of new to me and stuff like that. And I gotta get it ingrained in my brain. And I really want that true, genuine, loving relationship. I want to love Him like He loves us. I don't really care about like the blessings. I mean, the blessings is cool and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, them blessings can be taken away from you, like that. And yeah, I just want a real, genuine relationship with him. I want a loving relationship. I want a bond because what's the name? I mean, right now with the blessings is cool and everything, but the real blessing is when you die and you go to heaven. That's the real blessing, and you spending eternal life with Jesus. So I mean, I like the blessings now, but like the real blessing is when you die and go to heaven and stuff like that. So yeah.
mm. What else you got? Because it was more to it than that. Because I feel it. Because I'm about to shift. I'm trying to hold myself, and I know you don't know what I mean, but I'm trying to hold myself because you're open. It's a whole lot of stuff that's opening up, and it's stuff I've been praying about when it comes to y'all. And the Lord just doing. He's doing it right in front of me, and that's what I mean. It's shifting because I never thought it would be you. I never thought it would be God will use you to, because I'm just amazed of just how you talking. I'm amazed at that, and we don't talk that often. You know what I mean, as far as in depth. But the Lord, He's answering prayers that I prayed a long time ago, and I'm just grateful that He's letting me see that, and I know it's going to be a blessing to somebody else, because it has nothing to do with you being my nephew. It has to do with God just doing what He's doing, and He's going to show Himself to be who He is, and that is simply God. And the fact of the matter, and you're not the only one. You're not the only teenager. You're not the only adolescent. You're not the only one that wants to know God for who He is. But I know for me, it has been so many of us adults who have failed miserably because we were taught erroneously when it comes to living this thing for God. And it was always, well, you can do this, but you can't do that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you can, the world made it okay for people to have, promiscuity. It may, and the kids, y'all, the kids pick that up and think it's okay. And as much as we say that is wrong, the church, but we saying it is wrong, but we participate in what we saying is wrong, and then y'all watching us. So when you sit up and say, okay, well, how you gonna tell me that I can't do it, but you living with somebody that you're not married to? How you gonna tell me it's wrong to smoke, drink, go out, do all these other things, but when you not at work or when you not at church, that's what you do at home. You go out and do what you do. You hang out every time you look around. You at the club or you doing, before they even shut everything down. You know what I mean? So the fact of the matter, you being 14 years old and having this kind of conversation and knowing that I already know God is gonna use you some more, because this is just the beginning. And I'm not just saying that because I'm your auntie. I'm saying this because of what I am hearing. This is just the beginning. And you comfortable in what you're talking. There's I don't see no anxiety, nothing. You nervous about anything. And the reason why it's like that is because you believe what you're saying. It's not a front with you, because you've made that determination that you want to have a relationship with God. And because of that, you want other people to have a relationship with God, because that's the right thing to do. So I was okay, I think I got myself together with that. But What else you got, babe? You got something else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got two more things I want to talk about.
Sure, go
So,
right ahead.
what's the name? I don't know if
And
this is
let
a
us
couple.
know that y'all can y'all at least in the comments just let us know that this is encouraging you all, even if it's just a little bit, because this he doing a whole lot and he blessing me, and I know that even on the replay, somebody might look at this like saying, "Wow, for real." So just let us know that this being a blessing to you. Go ahead, boo.
So I don't know if this is a couple weeks ago or not, but what's the name? So I was reading my Bible in my room, right? I was reading the book of Job, and that man Job was something serious because the reason I liked Job so much was because what's the name? So in the book of Job, it was talking about how he had a nice family and kids and all that stuff, right? So what happened was God was gonna test him, right? So God was like giving him multiple tests, letting Satan do this and this and that, right? Testing Job's faith and like how he was gonna say like, nah, this isn't God, this is the devil, stuff like that, and how like he stood firm. And like the devil did a whole bunch of things to him, like he killed his children and like did like all this really bad stuff. But Job still kept his faith and he still kept believing and still finding a way to like thank God for whatever he has left and all that stuff. And the thing that stuck out to me with Job was that like I was wondering like how he kept his faith, because if all that stuff was happening to me as a grown man, I probably would have folded under pressure and like started to blame God and like ask God like why did you do this to me, why did you let this happen, I thought you loved me and stuff like that. But the thing is, God was testing him and he passed the test because he never folded. He never bent under pressure. And that's the one thing I like about Job, that he stood firm all the way to the end. So the thing with Job is I want to be like Job. I want to stand firm all the way to the end. I don't want to, just because the enemy tries to bring me down, I don't want that to like bring me down with him. I don't want that to like get it. I don't want that to stop me from what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, that could be a test. That could be a test for me from God, or hey, God's trying to test my faith or something like that. And I want to be able to make sure I'm gonna pass that test. So I'm gonna do what I can to get through it, and then rely on God a little bit more and keep doing what I gotta do, and let God take the wheel, because that's what He's there for. So,
Okay, that's one you said too.
and the other one, I was reading Revelation, right? I was reading Revelation one day, and I was talking to my mom about the rapture and how he's gonna come back, and how the seven trumpets and the mark of the beast and all this crazy stuff. Because the first time I read Revelation, I was scared, like I was afraid. Like I was like really scared, because I was scared. Like the reason I was scared was because I was scared of the fact that I might get left behind, and I got to go through the 7 year tribulation where the Antichrist comes back in the mark of the beast, and if you don't take the mark, you gotta die, and like stuff like that. And so, what's the name? When I told my mom about it, he was like, Jameson. She was like, Jameson, you gotta ask yourself this: are you serving the Lord out of love, or are you serving the Lord out of fear? And that was really where I had to talk to myself and like really think to myself like do I really love the Lord? Am I right? Am I just serving the Lord out of fear because of what He can do and stuff like that? And that's why I really had a heart to heart with Him. And I was like, give me some clearance, give me some guidance. Like, what am I doing? It was like really like a tough point. And then like I thought on it, and 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 I kept reading and reading and reading. And eventually, I think like a couple of weeks later, like my heart was like dead set. Like, I fear the Lord, but not in that type of way. It's like if you fear the Lord, like that's okay. Like I didn't fear the Lord like the type of Lord like He like do best. Like if I didn't, like it was like this. If I feared the Lord because if I didn't praise and worship Him, I was gonna go to hell. That was kind of like that. Cause
Uh-huh.
that was kind of what my mom was telling me. She was like, "Are you only serving the Lord because you don't want to go to hell, or are you serving the Lord because you really want a genuine relationship with Him and you love Him like He loves you?" And that was the second one. I wanted to have a relationship with Him. I wanted to serve Him and love Him the way He loves me. And I really had to think on that because when she said, "Are you serving the Lord out of fear?" I was like, am I serving the Lord out of fear? Because that's what I was really thinking that. Like at first, I was really thinking that at first because, like at first, I was kind of like my heart was kind of like I don't want to go to hell, so I'm gonna do this. But then as I like move forward, like I realized I just want to do this out of love and love Him like He loves us. And so yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. That's enough, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I got more stories, but I'm gonna keep it short.
We'll tell one more and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so there was this dream. It was like it was recent actually. It was this dream I had. It was like really recent, and so what's the name? I was in my room, right, like under the blankets, like in my dream. I was in my room. It was pitch black. I could not see anything, and as soon as like I sat up out the bed, I knew something was off. Like I knew like it was terrible. Like I had to get out my room. Like it was that bad. I felt something really, really strong and evil. Like the presence alone was just kind of like making me shiver, like making me scared or whatever. I knew immediately that I had to flee the room, right? And then I guess the presence followed me because what's the name? I was all up in the house. I was moving all around the house like that. And eventually my sister woke up and she was like, "What's going on?" And I guess she didn't feel it or something like that because she was like she was standing right next to me, and I was like, Avar, you don't feel that? You don't feel that? She was like, no, and I was like, what's happening? And she was like, I don't know, just get away from me because I don't want whatever's happening to me to happen to you. And so she eventually got away from me, and I was asking God like to help me out, like what am I supposed to do? Like help me out, because I don't want this thing to happen. I don't want whatever the thing's trying to do to me, and I want you to be there to help me. So after about like a couple of minutes praying and stuff like that, and like the presence was still there, but like it was like you know how I told you I was like afraid of it. Like at first, like I was shivering about it, and when I started praying, I became less scared. I became less and less scared, and like less afraid of it. And so, what's the name? I stood up, and the presence was still there, but it wasn't as bad to the point where I could like I'm not gonna say manage it, but I could like
Hmm.
manage myself, and be able to like take control of the situation and figure out what's happening. And so, like a couple seconds later, like the presence just vanishes, like it's gone.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out like what happened, and I was like, God, is this you? And did you get rid of it? And I knew that immediately he got rid of it because I just something in my heart was just telling me I got it, it's done.
Hmm.
And I was like, thank you. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I woke up. It was pitch black in my room, of course. And I was like,
Hmm.
it was like surreal because I really thought it was real because I went back in my bed in my dream and I was
Hmm.
in my bed and I thought it was real, but it wasn't real. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that was it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to get myself together here. Okay, he's wearing me out. Okay. Okay. So, um, do you wanna pray, honey? Pray for the kids before we wrap this thing up. Do you want to
Sure,
pray? Okay, you
sure.
can pray, and then once you finish praying, I'll wrap it up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving me this time to spread my experience with you and let Auntie give me the chance to like share the message and get shut giving the people the message. And I hope you just watch over the earth and watch over the kids and the people who don't know what they're doing. Like give them a clear idea of like you and let them know like you're there and that you are who you say you are, and so that they can follow you. In Jesus' name, pray, man.
Amen. Amen. This has I'm I'm trying to hold myself. This has been this is the Lord's doing and it's so marvelous in our eyes. I am honored and I am blessed to have this young man as part of my family. This is my oldest sister's grandson. And I'm thankful. I'm real thankful. I'm real thankful to God that he um he just answering prayer. I'm real grateful. And this this is the reason why we have to keep the children covered because just like Jameson, there's some other children that the Lord gonna bring out that we've never seen before, and they're gonna be determined and fire lit for God with no hesitation, apology, or reservation. And they are going to go forward in Jesus' name at whatever cost. And we have to keep them covered in prayer. That's why it is every time you see something on TV about another child succumbing to some type of violence or whatever the case, that's why we have to cover these children because the enemy knows. He is fully aware that it's the children that's going to bring the glory of God back into the earth. I'm telling you what I know. If God is using the children, yep, he sure is. And that's one of the reasons why I keep praying. I keep praying as much as I see everything that's going on. I keep Lord cover these children. Lord watch over these children. Lord keep protect these children because Jameson is the example of what's coming. What's coming, and I'm just grateful that he's doing what he's doing. Amen. So it I don't know. It all depends on what the Lord does. He may allow Jameson to come back and talk to us some more. We'll we'll figure that out as time goes on. But please continue to pray for him and our children alike. Pray for the parents of these children that they're able to give them what they need, that they're able to walk in the call that God has placed upon their life. Again, if you noticed, he was very confident and was not confused about anything he was saying. And that's because he's building his relationship with God, as we all should be doing, building our relationship with God. I thank you all so very much for taking the time out to spend some time with me and my nephew tonight on Set Apart. If it be the Lord's will, we'll see you. I'll see you next Tuesday at 7:30 for another session Set Apart. Um, this session will be on Instagram, my page on Instagram, Marvelocity 20, Marvelocity 20, Marvelocity 20, Marvelocity 20. It'll be on my U page, Dr. Valeria Coley. And of course, it will definitely be on my Facebook page. So please like, tag, and share. Please like, tag, and share. Your grandma on here, Jamie, GJ. Say hi to GJ.
Oh, hey, Grandma.
um, and continue to pray for this ministry. Pray for this ministry because God's going to do some amazing things. Remember, it is the glory of God that we're after, and we're after it because we want to give it back to Him because it belongs to Him. I love you all so very much. I pray that you all have rest well tonight and continue to pray for us as we go forward in doing the bidding of the Lord. Love y'all so much.